Hey guys, my name is Amar and I put this video together to talk about managing your personal finances and the importance of budgeting. It's an incredibly important exercise that everybody should be doing every single month. It's amazing to hear people tell me they're not saving any money and then also not be able to tell me where their money is going. It's a shocking statistic I heard the other day that said 65% of people don't know how much money they spent last month. And if you think about this, it's something that you would never hear from a CEO or a CFO or a business owner. So why aren't we giving our personal finances the same level of attention a CFO gives his business? So when it comes to managing your personal finances, we can start with creating a budget. So just as an overview, everybody has income, everybody has expenses, and hopefully everybody has a little bit something left over at the end of each month to allocate towards savings, vacations, investments, whatever. So I'm going to walk you through how to use your income and your expenses to create a budget for yourself and then how to track that budget each month. There's 4 simple steps that I've broken this down into. 1, gather data. 2, compile that data. 3, create your budget. And 4, manage your budget. So step 1, how to gather data. So in order to have relevant information, you guys are going to have to pull your bank statements and your credit card statements. It's the only way to get an accurate picture of exactly what you've made and exactly where you've been spending your money. And when you're pulling your statements, I'd go back about 3 months or so, just because some of your spending will fluctuate month to month. And the goal of this exercise is to get an accurate picture of what your monthly average income and expenses are. That brings us to step 2, compile data. So how to use the data to compile your monthly income and expenses. Now that you have your statements pulled for the last 3 months, I want you to go through and categorize all of your income and expenses month by month. This might take some time, and it's important to spend the time here and go through what you've been spending and allocate things and be accurate with it. As you're going through this step, you're probably going to realize you're spending a lot of money in certain areas that you didn't think you were. And it's funny, people always tend to think they spend less than they actually do, so you might learn something new about yourself. I know I was spending a lot more money on eating out, restaurants than I thought I was, and that was a bit of a wake-up call. Here's an example of what your end product should look like. I'm an Excel guy, so I did the whole thing in a spreadsheet, which I would definitely recommend you do. It'll make your life easier for the rest of the steps, and it's a lot easier to track every month going forward. And that brings us to step 3, create your budget. So now that you have your income and expenses, let's get a monthly average and use this to create your monthly budget. So as you can see here, I've taken a straight average of the 3 months, and this essentially is going to be your budget. I've gone ahead and organized the income and expenses into different categories just to break things out a little bit. And when you do the same, you'll get an overall picture of your monthly income and your monthly expenses, and also what you're going to have left over at the end of each month. And this budget is supposed to act as a baseline for you. It's where you should be aiming to be at the end of each month. Now, every month isn't going to be perfect here, and you might need to tweak a few things as well on your budget, just to make sure that you're being reasonable with yourself. But at the end of the day, you have a template now to compare your spending against every single month, and that's what we're trying to do. And that brings us to step 4, manage your budget. So now that you have your budget, you have a baseline to use to track your spending each month. It's really simple to do. At the end of each month, you want to go back and pull your bank statements and your credit card statements and categorize where you spent your money. You then track your actual income and spending against your budgeted income and spending, and you see where you land for that month. You might be over or under on your food or your grocery, and you can use this new information to update your original budget to something that's a little bit more reasonable as well. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is bank accounts. So that money that you have left over at the end of each month, it needs to be moved into a separate account. I recommend creating a separate savings account. This way you can watch it grow every month, and it might even motivate you to make it grow a little bit faster. You can also take this a step further and create a vacation account or a miscellaneous car repairs account or whatever you might be, and kind of use it as a tool to organize your finances in your online banking. Just talk to your banker first. It's not going to be worth it if they start hitting you with all these extra fees, so just be careful with that. And that's my approach to managing your personal finances and budgeting. I hope you can use this information to improve the way that you manage your money. Thanks.